Inside every man is a struggle between good and evil that cannot be resolved.
Thanks, Homer. Okay, so this topic isn't about whether a god or gods exist or not. The purpose of this topic is to open a discussion about atheism and its interactions with morals and ethics. A friend and I recently had a conversation about religious differences that really caught my attention because it emphasized an important misconception that almost all religious people have. My friend was having a problem with another person, which he attributed to their religious differences. I mentioned that he and I got along great despite our obvious religious differences. He's a devout Christian and I'm an atheist. And he responded that it's easy to get along with someone that doesn't believe in anything. It was this response that caught my attention, with the main problem being that he actually believed it. Not that it's easy to get along with somebody that doesn't believe in anything, but the fact that he honestly believed that I don't believe in anything. In fact, I have very strong beliefs. I believe very firmly that there is no God, and much of my philosophies are based on that belief. So does this make me immoral? Does my belief in no God invalidate any good intentions I have towards my fellow man? Does this mean I'm not allowed to be a nice person? Does this mean I will always do the wrong thing? Well, to many religious people, the answer to these questions is yes. The fact that with what I've learned I choose to believe that there is no God means to many that I'm a dangerous, immoral, evil person who's destined to commit crimes and just be a public nuisance. This negative view of atheists comes from a few myths, and it's these dangerous myths that I hope to destroy. One assumption that many religious people make is that moral and ethical choices are religious virtues only. They think God-fearing people are moral, and therefore a non-religious person is a non-moral, non-ethical person. This myth has been the basis for hate, distrust, discrimination, and in some rare cases, crimes against atheists. It's so widespread that even governments are guilty of historical discrimination against atheists. At best, religious people tend to distrust atheists. At worst, some people have committed crimes against atheists with the rationalization that those that do not follow a god are the enemy. They feel that someone's refusal to acknowledge their god is a personal attack on them, and so they retaliate. Now, any attacks on anyone based on religion or a lack thereof is a bad thing. No one should ever be physically, mentally, or spiritually attacked or killed simply for their religious or philosophical beliefs. Yet, most of the wars and atrocities throughout history have come as a result of religious disagreements. In fact, morality, ethics, caring for others, etc., don't come from the belief in a god, but from your own desire to be nice to others around you. Close friends and family have often described me as a very ethically motivated person. I don't steal, cheat, spread nasty rumors about others, or anything else I feel is mean, destructive, or dangerous to others. And believe me, I've had plenty of opportunities to do these things if I wanted. I've often been told that sometimes I go too far to help those around me, and other atheists I know are just as nice as I am. Many of my close friends are very religious, many others are atheists, and I've found no correlation between their religious beliefs and their good or bad actions. There is no evidence whatsoever that believers in no God are any more of a threat to others than believers in a God. Another problem is that religious people tend to equate atheism with anarchism. But these are two very separate issues. I'm an atheist, with the belief that there is no God, but I in no way support anarchism, the doctrine that believes all governments and laws should be abolished. I fully appreciate the need for governments and laws, and I do the best I can to obey them. Atheism has also been incorrectly connected with communism. And again, this is a dangerous myth. Basic historical research shows no connection whatsoever between atheism, communism, and anarchism. They are no more related than Judaism, national pride, and Buddhism. In fact, during the beginnings of Christianity, followers of Jesus were called atheists because they refused to accept the Roman gods. Now they and other religions turn around and do unto others as was done unto them. So religious people ask, but without a God, what's to keep us in line? What would dictate our morality and ethics? What would we fear enough to keep us from being evil? Well, in simple terms, common sense and goodwill towards others. Most good atheists know that it's best to be nice and helpful to others, and they know that being mean and selfish is just a shortcut to problems. This is no different than a good Buddhist, a good Hindu, or a good Christian. Simple research of crime statistics provides no connection between crime and religion or atheism. Fact. Not all religious people are saints, and not all atheists are sinners. The ability for someone to be good or evil is not determined by their religious philosophies, it's determined by their personal philosophies, which do come from sources other than religion. The belief that it takes a fear of God for us to be kind to others is, to me anyway, a very offensive and cheap statement about people in general. That belief says, in effect, that people are naturally mean and nasty to each other, and that it takes some kind of divine intervention to keep us from killing each other in mass orgies of violence. I prefer to believe that people can be nice to one another for any reason they want. It doesn't take a genius to realize that we can get further ahead in life when we're nice to everybody around us. Then again, maybe it does take a genius. That would better explain all the rude, mean, selfish people in the world. Once we can agree that people can be nice, regardless of which god or gods they believe in, or even that they believe at all, we all become a lot closer to improving this world for everyone. Would a typical Christian agree that Buddhists are ethical? I think so. There are a few that think only Christians are the ones with ethics, but those people are so clearly misguided that they don't warrant discussion here. So we go back to those that admit Buddhists can be ethical. However, Buddhists don't believe in the same Jesus-based God that Christians do. In fact, they don't believe in a God at all. So that must mean that morality and ethics are capable regardless of the belief in a God. After all, how can you call the followers of the fourth largest religion in the world unethical? On this topic, if atheism were officially recognized as a religion, because we've just shown you don't need to believe in a God to be a credible religion, would people feel better about the concept of atheist morality? Let's take a different look at the concept that morality, ethics, and compassion are incapable without a belief in God. Any pet lover will attest to the undying love and compassion given to them by their pet dog. We have stories of dogs never leaving their owner's side even after the owners died. They stay at the gravesite until they too die. I would classify this as undying love and devotion. Or when elephants come across the carcass of a dead elephant, they show signs of anguish over the fallen comrade, even if they didn't know that elephant in life. A mother seal cries and suffers when its baby is captured and eaten by a whale. When a baby dolphin acts improperly, the mother punishes it by grounding it on the ocean floor. When a chimpanzee acts too mean, the rest of the tribe kicks it out and banishes it from their social circle. These are all facts, scientifically observed, videotaped, documented. They're actual facts. So, how can the dolphin punish bad behavior without a sense of right or wrong? And how can you have a sense of right or wrong without ethical values? How does a dog show such acts of love, devotion, and, yes, compassion? These animals, and there are many more examples available, show natural signs that are classified as moral and/or ethical values. So these animals that I mentioned, whom I'm sure pray to no God, are capable of morals, ethics, and compassion, yet humans who learn that no God exists are not capable of the same actions? Isn't it enough for someone to consider that life itself is precious without a God? It seems to be enough for the other animals. By the way, I just want to say, for the record, that although I do not believe in God, the religious texts from all the religions I've read do carry good advice for treating others well. However, just because good advice is found in those religious texts is not proof of moral inferiority in atheism. Atheists are just as capable of reasoning the good advice found in those fables. Ultimately, I'm not worried about getting into Valhalla, Nirvana, heaven, or anywhere else after I die. For me, I'm more concerned with making as big a positive impact as possible while I'm alive.